So the rooms level is one of the most exciting report, and it really pairs nicely with the features that we've been adding this year into the viewer. So we're going to want to dive into these new features and the buttons here, as well as the setup of the viewer. So if I select the white edges of the viewer here, I'm going to be able to customize this viewer in a couple of crucial ways. When you customize in the visualization, it changes the default. When you customize in the viewer itself, it changes the session. So what you want to do is understand these differences. And the two places we're going to look at today are isolation. So in this case, we've disabled isolation so that it doesn't hide everything outside of the selection. So let's take this off. And then the other thing we've done is we've played with the section box. So we have auto section, and we're also automatically shaving about 3 feet off the top and padding the bottom and the sides with 3 feet in the positive direction. So with that, when we select a level, we get a nice view here of everything in there. And actually, I've already changed some of these settings to be more aggressive. So it's shaving off 7 feet from the top, because if I only shave off 3 and I select the entire level, it's not going deep enough, because the highest room, which may be some sort of vertical shaft, the highest room has a ceiling that is more than 3 or 4 feet. So let's be aggressive when we're looking at each of the levels. We'll go -7. However, we can reduce that to -3 or -2 when we're looking at individual rooms. So if I go in here, we're going to see it's pretty aggressive at -7 here, right? So we can say -3, and this will allow us to understand the room a lot better. It's not cutting through the cupboards and so forth. And see, when we go to -2, we start seeing other things in the room, like some sort of fire device here. Okay, let's go back to selecting some of our levels here, and we'll play around with this. And there's really two buttons I want you to remember. There's auto camera, which means that when we select an item, it's going to go and look at that item. The other one is the auto section. So what we can do is when we select a level, we can disable the auto section. And then when we select a room within that level, it's going to maintain the entire context of that room instead of just really isolating that room. The other thing you can do is disable the auto camera, so that way it's not going to necessarily bring you to that room and move the camera every time. It's just going to highlight it and change it. Now, what you don't want to do is go select another level, because, you know, we're already doing a section on level 7. Our auto section is disabled, so you want to stay on to level 7. If I want to go to level 10, what I can do is re-enable the auto section, and then I can click all my levels, and I may want to re-enable the auto camera as well, so that it kind of keeps everything centered. Okay, that's the kind of technical, boring part of the report. Let's go into the useful part of the report now that you've mastered it. Basically, what we see here is the number of rooms per level. We see the areas of each room in meters square. We see the perimeter, and we see the height. If we open the element room table, we'll see that we're using the metric area, but if we just drag the area in here, it's going to be in square feet. So it's quite easy to switch this from metric to imperial. Same thing with the perimeter, same thing with the unbounded height. We can just drag the field that matters to us depending on the unit types we're using. As we kind of cycle through these rooms, we also see all of the values of the parameters for each room. So if there are values in there that are useful, like for example, this is a lab, we're going to see all of them. Once again, this is a model that has a lot of missing values, so that's why you're seeing all of this white spot here. But there's still some interesting data in here. So really fun report to share with people if you want them to navigate the model and understand what's happening. You can even use this with IoT or security, or really plug in any live data to your model and start color coding it. This is one of the most intuitive way of chopping through a model. And also, if we just quickly go into the section tool, the other thing you can do is show the section tool and then just go and change your section manually instead of using the auto section capabilities. So really nice improvements in our sectioning tool, our auto sectioning tool, and our visualization. I hope you enjoyed this report, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.